10 things you must work on every day. By Listen, Grow Sleep. Introduction. Imagine that every day is like a fresh canvas and you've got the brush in your hand. That brush, that's the choices you make. What will you paint? Every single day is an opportunity for improvement, an opportunity to sharpen your skills, refine your thinking, and elevate your life to a higher level. But it doesn't happen by chance. You have to make it happen. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is this. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure, on the other hand, is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The difference between these two, failure and success, lies in the small things you choose to improve daily. It's not the big changes, it's the little changes, the ones we sometimes overlook that make the biggest difference over time. I've summed it up to about 10 things that you must improve every day. Think about it this way. If you improve just 1% in each of these areas every day, that's a 10% improvement overall. In a year, that's an exponential transformation. Small hinges swing big doors, my friend, with the power of compound growth. Just like compound interest in finance, personal growth compounds over time. Each small improvement builds on the last, creating a momentum that becomes unstoppable. This is why consistent daily action is so much more powerful than sporadic bursts of effort. Consider this. If you improved just 1% each day for a year, you'd end up 37 times better by the end of the year. That's the power of compound growth. It's not linear, it's exponential. Are you ready to discover the daily disciplines that can transform your life? Are you prepared to make those small, consistent improvements that compound over time into extraordinary results? Then let's begin. Chapter 1. Your attitude, the foundation of everything. The first thing you must improve daily is your attitude. How powerful your attitude is. Your attitude is the foundation on which your life is built. If you improve it just a little each day, you'll find that it changes everything about your day. Now, you might say, it's just an attitude. It's just how I feel. Well, I'm telling you, it's not just how you feel. It's how you see the world. It's how you approach problems, how you handle challenges, and how you relate to other people. And it goes both ways. Your attitude is like a magnet. It draws in opportunities, or it pushes them away. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who is always negative? Someone who complains about everything, no matter how good life is? How much success do you think they attract with that attitude? Probably not much. And that's because their negative attitude creates a barrier to opportunities. On the other hand, someone with a positive attitude attracts opportunities like a magnet. People want to be around them. They want to work with them. They want to help them. They want to see them succeed. So if you improve your attitude just a little every day, maybe you work on being a little more optimistic, maybe you work on being a little more patient, you'll find that doors start to open that you never even knew were there. The daily practice of attitude improvement. Your attitude doesn't change overnight. It's a slow and steady process. You improve it bit by bit, day by day. Maybe today you focus on being a little more grateful. Tomorrow you focus on being a little more resilient. The next day, you focus on finding solutions instead of dwelling on problems. Each day, you add a small brick to the foundation of a better attitude, and before you know it, you've built something strong and lasting. And I'm telling you, when your attitude improves, everything else starts to improve with it. Your relationships, your work, your health, everything. The science behind attitude. What's fascinating about attitude is that modern neuroscience has shown us it's not just about positive thinking. It's about creating new neural pathways in your brain. Every time you choose a positive response over a negative one, you're literally rewiring your brain for success. Here's a practical exercise, the next level response challenge. When something negative happens today, pause for 3 seconds before responding. In those 3 seconds, ask yourself, what would my next level self do in this situation? Then choose that response. Chapter 2. Communication, the bridge to connection. You must work on your communication skills every day. This is a huge factor in how successful you become. Why? Because everything in life involves communication. Whether you're talking to a friend, making a business deal, or simply interacting with your family, communication is at the heart of it all. And the better you are at communicating, the better your relationships will be, the better your business will run, and the more influence you'll have in your community. Now let me clarify something. Communication isn't just about talking. In fact, some of the best communicators don't talk that much at all. They listen. They listen carefully. They listen with empathy. They listen to understand, not just to respond. You see, good communication is a two-way street. It's about expressing your ideas clearly and understanding the ideas of others. Improving your communication daily. You can improve your communication every day. Maybe today you work on being a better listener. Tomorrow you practice getting your point across without being aggressive. The day after that, you work on finding the right words to express how you feel. Each day you chip away at the rough edges of your communication style and you become someone who people want to listen to. And here's the real power of it. When you communicate better, you influence more. You lead better. You inspire others to take action. Have you ever had a misunderstanding with someone because of poor communication? Maybe you thought they meant one thing, but they meant something completely different. And that little misunderstanding led to a big problem. Now imagine if you improved your communication just a little every day. How many of those misunderstandings could you avoid? How many conflicts could you resolve? How much more trust could you build in your relationships? It's worth thinking about, isn't it? The 3 levels of listening. In my years of studying communication, I've discovered there are 3 levels of listening that can transform your interactions. Surface listening, hearing the words but thinking about your response. Active listening, fully engaged, asking questions, seeking understanding. Empathic listening, understanding not just the words but the emotions and intentions behind them. Most people operate at level 1, but the real magic happens at levels 2 and 3. That's where trust is built, relationships deepen, and true understanding occurs. The Communication Mastery Exercise. Here's a practical exercise you can do today. In your next conversation, practice the 3-beat rule. After someone finishes speaking, count 3 beats in your head before responding. This simple pause accomplishes 3 things. It shows respect for what the other person said. It gives you time to process their words fully. It prevents you from interrupting or speaking reactively. Chapter 3. Self-discipline, the bridge to achievement. You must improve your self-discipline every day. It's crucial. Self-discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. It's the ability to keep going when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable. And here's the truth. Without self-discipline, success is impossible. You might have the best goals in the world, the most brilliant ideas, and all the talent you could ask for. But if you don't have the discipline to follow through, none of that matters. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. And you can improve it a little every day. Maybe today, you discipline yourself to wake up 15 minutes earlier. Tomorrow, you discipline yourself to exercise, even if you don't feel like it. The next day, you discipline yourself to stay focused on your work without getting distracted. Each of these little acts of discipline may seem small, but when you add them up over time, they create massive results. The power of habits in building discipline. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower, it's about creating habits. When you make something a habit, it no longer requires as much discipline, it becomes automatic. So part of improving your self-discipline is building habits that support your goals. For example, if you make it a habit to read 10 pages of a good book every day, you don't have to rely on willpower to learn and grow. The habit takes over, and your discipline becomes effortless. I once knew a young man who was incredibly talented. He had all the potential in the world, but he lacked discipline. He would start projects with great enthusiasm, but he would never finish them. He'd get distracted by the next shiny object, the next new idea, and leave the old one behind. As a result, he never made any real progress. One day I sat down with him and I told him, "You've got to work on your discipline. You've got to train yourself to stick with something until it's done. even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when you don't feel like it. And you know what? He took that advice to heart. He started small, just finishing one little project at a time. And over time, he developed the discipline to follow through on the big things. Today, he's incredibly successful, and he'll tell you that self-discipline was the key to it all. The psychology of self-discipline. Recent research in psychology has shown that self-discipline isn't just about willpower, it's about environment design and habit stacking. The most disciplined people don't rely solely on motivation. They create systems that make success almost inevitable. Here's what I mean. Instead of relying on willpower to wake up early, put your alarm clock across the room. Instead of trying to resist junk food, don't keep it in your house. These environmental tweaks make self-discipline easier because they remove the need for constant decision-making. The 5-minute rule for building discipline. When you're struggling to start something, commit to just 5 minutes. Want to exercise? Commit to 5 minutes. Want to write? Commit to 5 minutes. Want to meditate? 5 minutes. Here's why this works. Often, the hardest part is starting. Once you're in motion, you'll likely continue. It's like pushing a car. It takes the most energy to get it moving, but once it's rolling, it's much easier to keep it going. Chapter 4. Your mindset, the lens through which you see everything. Another way to improve your life daily is to challenge your limiting beliefs. You see, many of us are held back not by external circumstances, but by the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world. We think we can't do something because we've never done it before, or because someone told us we're not good enough. But those beliefs are just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. So each day, work on replacing those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, think, I'm learning how to do this. Instead of thinking, I'll never be successful, think, I'm on the path to success. Each day, you improve your mindset just a little, and over time, you'll find that your entire outlook on life changes. A story of mindset transformation. I once knew a man who struggled with his mindset. He was constantly focused on the negatives in life. He saw every obstacle as insurmountable, every failure as final. As a result, he was stuck. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't move forward. One day I sat down with him and I told him, you've got to work on your mindset. You've got to stop focusing on what's wrong and start focusing on what's possible. He took that advice to heart. He started small, reading a few pages of an uplifting book each morning, practicing gratitude each night, and slowly shifting his focus from problems to solutions. Over time, his mindset transformed, and so did his life. He became more confident, more resilient, and more successful. And it all started with the daily practice of improving his mindset. The Growth Mindset Framework. Dr. Carol Dweck's research on mindset has shown us something fascinating. People with a growth mindset, those who believe abilities can be developed, achieve more than those with a fixed mindset, those who believe abilities are static. Here's a practical framework for developing a growth mindset. Replace I can't with I can't yet. View challenges as opportunities for growth. Celebrate the process, not just the outcome. Learn from criticism instead of avoiding it. Find inspiration in others' success rather than feeling threatened. The daily mindset, reset. Try this powerful exercise each morning. Before you start your day, ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I grateful for today? What would make today great? What limiting belief am I ready to challenge? Chapter 5. Time management. Making the most of every moment. We have to pay close attention to time. It's the one resource we all have the same amount of, but how we use it makes all the difference. You see, time is precious, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. So if you want to achieve great things in life, you've got to learn how to manage your time wisely. And the good news is, time management is something you can improve every day. Maybe today, you work on setting clear priorities. Tomorrow, you focus on eliminating distractions. The next day, you practice saying no to things that don't align with your goals. Each small improvement in how you manage your time adds up, and before you know it, you're getting more done in less time, and you're focusing on the things that truly matter. Busy versus productive. How often do you find yourself busy but not productive? How often do you spend your time on things that don't really move the needle, while the important tasks get pushed to the side? You see, being busy is not the same as being productive, and that's why improving your time management is so crucial. It's about focusing on the right things, at the right time, in the right way. One of the best ways to improve your time management is to start your day with a plan. Take a few minutes each morning to map out your priorities for the day. What are the most important things you need to accomplish? What can you delegate or eliminate? And here's a key. Don't just plan your work, plan your breaks too. Rest is just as important as action. If you don't take time to recharge, you'll burn out. So make sure that you're managing your time in a way that includes both productivity and rest. I've worked with many people over the years who struggled with time management. They tell me, "Jim, I just don't have enough time to get everything done." And I tell them, you've got exactly the same amount of time as everyone else. It's not about having more time, it's about using the time you have more effectively. So if you want to improve your life, start by improving how you manage your time. It's a daily practice. And with each day that you get a little better, you'll find that your life starts to fall into place more smoothly. The time management matrix. One of the most powerful tools I've discovered for managing time is the urgency importance matrix. It divides tasks into 4 quadrants. Urgent and important, crises, pressing problems. Not urgent but important, planning, prevention, relationship building. Urgent but not important, interruptions, some calls. Not urgent and not important, time wasters, pleasant activities. The key to exceptional time management is spending more time in quadrant 2, the important but not urgent zone. This is where real progress happens. The power hour technique. Here's a game-changing strategy. Start each day with a power hour. This is 60 minutes of focused work on your most important task, before checking email, before meetings, before the world starts making demands on your time. The science behind this is clear. Our willpower and focus are strongest in the morning. By tackling our most important work first, we ensure it gets our best energy. Time blocking for peak performance. Instead of managing your time, manage your energy. Block your day into 90-minute focused sessions, followed by 15-minute breaks. This aligns with your body's natural ultradian rhythm, the cycle of peak performance and rest that occurs throughout your day. Chapter 6. Knowledge, the currency of the modern world. Every day you must build and improve your knowledge. The world is constantly changing, and if you're not learning, you're falling behind. The more you know, the more you can do. The more you can do, the more value you can bring to the marketplace. And the more value you bring, the more rewards you receive. So if you want to stay ahead in life, you've got to improve your knowledge every single day. The daily practice of learning. How do you do that? Simple. Read, listen, study. Every day, commit to learning something new. Maybe today you read an article about your industry. Tomorrow you listen to a seminar about personal development. The next day, you take a course to improve your skills. Each small investment in learning adds up. You'll find that you're more knowledgeable, more skilled, and more prepared for whatever life throws your way. And here's the thing. Learning doesn't stop when you leave school. In fact, that's when the real learning begins. You see, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. The most successful people in the world are lifelong learners. They never stop improving their knowledge because they know that the more they learn, the more they can achieve. Mr. Schoaf was one of the smartest men I've ever met, but he didn't become that way by chance. He became that way by dedicating himself to learning every day. He told me once, "Jim, the more you learn, the more you earn." And I took that to heart. I started reading, listening to tapes, attending seminars, anything I could do to improve my knowledge. And you know what? Mr. Schoaf was right. The more I learned, the more opportunities came my way. And the same will be true for you. The learning revolution. We're living in what I call the learning revolution. With digital technology, we have more access to knowledge than ever before in human history. But here's the catch. We need to learn how to learn effectively. The 4-step learning framework. Acquisition, gathering new information. Application, using what you've learned. Teaching, explaining it to others. Reflection, processing and integrating. This framework, based on modern learning science, helps you not just acquire knowledge, but truly master it. The knowledge portfolio strategy. Just like a financial portfolio, your knowledge portfolio should be diversified. Here's how to structure it. Core knowledge, 60%, your primary field of expertise. Adjacent knowledge, 30%, related fields that complement your core. Exploratory knowledge, 10%, new areas that might become relevant. Digital learning optimization. In our digital age, here's a powerful daily learning routine. Morning, 20 minutes reading industry news. Commute, educational podcasts or audiobooks. Lunch, watch one educational video. Evening, 30 minutes deep reading. Before bed, 5 minutes reflection on what you learned. Chapter 7, Finances, the foundation of freedom. There is never a good day to neglect your finances. Your financial situation is not just something that happens to you, it's something you create. And just like any other area of life, it requires daily attention and improvement. Whether you're trying to get out of debt, build wealth, or simply create more financial security, it starts with making small, consistent improvements every day. Now here's the truth. Most people don't really understand money. They know how to earn it, but they don't know how to manage it. And as a result, they find themselves constantly struggling, no matter how much they make. But here's the good news. You can improve your financial situation a little bit each day. Small steps to financial freedom. Maybe today, you start by tracking your expenses, so you know where your money is going. Tomorrow, you create a simple budget to make sure you're living within your means. The next day, you start setting aside a small percentage of your income for savings or investments. Each of these small steps adds up, and before you know it, you'll find that your finances are under control and growing. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. Some people make a lot of money, but they spend it just as fast as they earn it. They live paycheck to paycheck, always on the edge of financial trouble. But others who make less are able to save, invest, and build wealth because they have learned the principles of financial management. And those principles can be learned by anyone. You don't have to be a financial expert to improve your finances. You just need to make small, smart decisions every day. One of the best pieces of financial advice I ever received was this: spend less than you earn and invest the rest. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. If you live by that principle every day, your financial future will be secure. But here's the key. It requires discipline. It requires the willingness to delay gratification. It requires you to say no to unnecessary expenses today so that you can say yes to financial freedom tomorrow. And that's something you can improve every day. Your ability to make smart financial decisions, to manage your money wisely, and to invest in your future. Have you ever looked at your bank statement and wondered, where did all my money go? That's a sign that it's time to start improving your financial habits. It's time to take control of your money instead of letting it control you. And it doesn't take huge changes, just small, consistent improvements. The modern money management framework. In today's digital economy, managing money requires a new approach. Here's a comprehensive framework. Income optimization. Primary income, your job or main business. Secondary income, side hustles, investments. Passive income, automated revenue streams. Expense management. Fixed expenses, 50% of income. Investments, 30% of income. Flexible spending, 20% of income. Wealth building stages. Foundation, emergency fund, basic insurance. Growth, diversified investments. Acceleration, advanced strategies. Legacy, estate planning, giving back. The digital finance revolution. Technology has transformed how we manage money. Use these tools: automated savings apps, investment platforms, expense tracking tools, financial education resources, the 24-hour rule for purchases. Here's a practical tip. For any non-essential purchase over $100, wait 24 hours before buying. This simple rule helps you avoid emotional spending, distinguish between wants and needs, make more intentional choices, build financial discipline. Chapter 8. Personal development, becoming the best version of yourself. Life is about growth. If you're not growing, you're standing still. And if you're standing still, you're falling behind. So every day, you've got to work on becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about constantly improving who you are, how you think, and what you do. Personal development is a lifelong journey, and it's one that you can't afford to ignore. Maybe today, you work on improving your self-awareness, understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, and your tendencies. Tomorrow, you work on developing a new skill, something that will help you in your career or personal life. The next day, you focus on improving your emotional intelligence, learning how to manage your emotions and relate better to others. Each of these small improvements contributes to your overall growth, and over time, you'll find that you've become the person you always knew you could be. The power of goal setting in personal development. One of the best things you can do for your personal development is to set goals. Clear, specific goals that challenge you to grow. But here's the key. Those goals must be aligned with your values, your passions, and your purpose. It's not just about achieving more, it's about becoming more. It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve those goals. And that's something you can work on every day. Maybe today, you set a goal to read one chapter of a personal development book. Tomorrow, you set a goal to practice a new habit for 10 minutes. The next day, you set a goal to reflect on your progress and adjust your course as needed. Each of these small actions moves you forward on your journey of personal growth. Now here's something important to understand. Personal development isn't just about learning new things. It's also about unlearning the things that no longer serve you. Sometimes, in order to grow, you've got to let go of old habits, old beliefs, and old ways of thinking that are holding you back. That's why personal development is an ongoing process. You're constantly learning, growing, and evolving. And the more you commit to that process, the more you'll find that your life improves in every area. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned about personal development is this: you attract what you become. If you want to attract success, you must become successful in your habits, in your thinking, and in your actions. If you want to attract great relationships, you must become the kind of person who is worthy of great relationships. If you want to attract abundance, you must develop an abundant mindset. And that's something you can work on every day. You can become more disciplined, more focused, more positive, and more successful by improving yourself just a little each day. The Personal Development Matrix. Personal development can be organized into 4 key dimensions: mental development, critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, learning ability, emotional development, self-awareness, emotional regulation, empathy, resilience, physical development, health, energy, strength, vitality, spiritual development, purpose, values, inner peace, connection, the 30-day challenge. Method. One of the most effective ways to develop yourself is through focused 30-day challenges. Here's how to structure them. Week 1, foundation. Learn the basics. Set up your environment. Build initial momentum. Week 2, 3, implementation. Daily practice, track progress, adjust as needed. Week 4, integration. Reflect on progress. Plan for continuation. Celebrate achievements. Chapter 9. Purpose. The reason behind everything you do. This one is so important. Purpose gives your life direction. It's the reason you get up in the morning, the thing that drives you to keep going even when things get tough. And here's the key. You've got to work on your purpose every day. You've got to constantly refine it, deepen it, and live it out in everything you do. Now, some people will say, I don't know what my purpose is. And that's okay. Purpose isn't something you find all at once. It's something you discover and develop over time. And you can improve it a little every day. Maybe today, you spend some time reflecting on what's truly important to you. Tomorrow, you take a small step in the direction of your dreams. The next day, you align your actions with your values. Each day, you make progress toward living a life of purpose. And before you know it, you'll find that your purpose becomes clearer, stronger, and more fulfilling. The transformative power of purpose. When you live with purpose, everything else falls into place. Your work becomes more meaningful. Your relationships become deeper. Your challenges become opportunities for growth. Purpose is the foundation on which a fulfilling life is built, and it's something you can work on every day. I once met a man who had everything: money, success, fame, but he was deeply unhappy. He couldn't figure out why. One day we had a conversation and I asked him, "What's your purpose? What's the reason you're doing all of this?" He couldn't answer. He had spent so much time chasing success that he had lost sight of why he wanted it in the first place. I told him, "You've got to find your purpose, and you've got to live it every day." He took that advice to heart. He started focusing on what truly mattered to him, helping others, making a difference, living a life of significance. And you know what? His entire life changed. He found happiness, fulfillment, and a sense of peace that he had never experienced before. And it all started with the daily practice of living with purpose. The Purpose Discovery Framework. Finding your purpose isn't about waiting for inspiration. It's about systematic exploration. Here's a framework I've developed. Values identification. What makes you angry? What brings you joy? What would you do for free? Impact analysis. Who do you want to help? What problems do you want to solve? What legacy do you want to leave? Capability assessment. What are you naturally good at? What have you learned to excel in? What unique perspective do you bring? Action planning. Short-term goals, 1-3 months. Medium-term objectives, 3-12 months. Long-term vision, 1-5 years. The Purpose Integration System. Once you've identified your purpose, use this system to integrate it into your daily life. Morning purpose review. Read your purpose statement. Visualize your impact. Plan purposeful actions. Daily purpose checks. Are my actions aligned with my purpose? Am I making progress toward my vision? What adjustments do I need to make? Evening purpose reflection. What impact did I make today? What did I learn about my purpose? How can I do better tomorrow? Chapter 10. Gratitude, the multiplier of joy. One of the most important things to work on every day is being grateful. Gratefulness is one of the most powerful emotions you can cultivate, and it has the ability to transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. You see, when you focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your attention away from what's missing in your life and toward what's already good. And when you do that, you attract more good into your life. Being grateful is something you can practice every day, and it doesn't take much. Maybe today, you take a moment to appreciate the people in your life who support you. Tomorrow, you focus on the small blessings you often take for granted: your health, your home, your job. The next day, you show a little gratitude for the challenges that have helped you grow. When you're grateful, your mindset shifts from scarcity to abundance. And over time, you'll find that your entire outlook on life changes. Finding gratitude in every situation. Have you ever had a bad day where everything seemed to go wrong? We've all been there. But here's the secret. Even on those days, there's something to be grateful for. Maybe it's the lesson you learned from a mistake. Maybe it's the strength you gained from overcoming a challenge. When you focus on being grateful, even the tough times become valuable. And that's the real power of it. Gratefulness is one of those things that multiplies. The more you practice it, the more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more you'll find to be grateful for. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It gets bigger and bigger with each day that you practice it. And here's the best part. When you live being grateful, you attract more of the things you're grateful for. You create a positive cycle of abundance, joy, and fulfillment that grows stronger with each passing day. Now, being grateful isn't just about feeling good, it's also about taking action. When you're truly grateful for something, you want to give back. You want to contribute, to help others, to make a difference. And that's another reason why being grateful is so powerful. It not only improves your own life, but it also inspires you to improve the lives of others. The daily practice of gratitude. When you make gratefulness a daily practice, it begins to change not just your perspective, but also your behavior. Being grateful has a way of softening us, of making us more generous, more patient, more compassionate. You see, when you focus on what you have, when you appreciate the small and the big blessings in your life, you start to release that sense of scarcity, that fear of not having enough. And that's powerful, because when you stop living in fear, you start living in abundance. And living in abundance is one of the greatest shifts you can make in your life. Gratefulness is like a muscle. You've got to work on it daily for it to grow strong. Every day, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. And it doesn't have to be big things. Maybe today you're grateful for the sunshine. Tomorrow you're grateful for the fact that you have food on your table. The next day you're grateful for the lessons you've learned through hardship. Whatever it is, find something, even if it's small. The key isn't the size of the thing you're grateful for. The key is the act of being grateful itself. Being grateful doesn't mean ignoring problems. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect when it's not. Life has its challenges, but when you practice being grateful, you develop the resilience to face those challenges without being overwhelmed by them. You learn to say, yes, this is hard, but I'm still grateful for the strength to get through it. Gratefulness shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, and that gives you the energy, the courage, and the perspective to keep moving forward. A story of gratitude's transformative power. There was a woman I knew who was going through a very difficult time in her life. She had lost her job, her relationship had ended, and she was feeling lost. Every day seemed like a struggle. One day we sat down and I told her, "You've got to find something to be grateful for, even in the midst of this storm." At first, she thought it was impossible, but she started small. Each day she wrote down one thing she was grateful for, no matter how small. Slowly, day by day, her perspective began to change. She began to see opportunities where she once saw obstacles. She started to rebuild her life. And today, she's happier and more successful than she ever was before. And she'll tell you that it all started with being grateful. Now, there's one more thing I want to emphasize about being grateful. It's contagious. When you're grateful about everything, people around you notice. It spreads. Your positive outlook inspires others to see the good in their own lives. Your generosity encourages others to be generous. Your appreciation for life lifts others out of their negativity. So when you practice gratefulness every day, you're not just improving your own life, you're improving the lives of those around you. And that's a powerful thing. This entire process has been about creating harmony in a loud digital era. You've discovered you don't have to succumb to every notification, feed, or trending app. With mindfulness and boundaries, you can craft a life where technology serves you instead of the other way around. Remember, each new day offers a fresh canvas. Should you ever feel pulled back into old loops, don't see it as failure, see it as a signal. Pause, reflect, and use the tools you've gathered. You have everything you need to remain centered, creative, and truly alive in each moment. Thank you for sharing this journey. May your path remain bright, balanced, and ever mindful, guided by the simple power of choosing presence over constant distraction. Thank you for joining us in this journey toward a more intentional, balanced life. We hope you found both practical tips and renewed inspiration. If you're excited to continue exploring well-being, mindful living, and personal growth, make sure to subscribe to Listen, Grow, Sleep. We'll keep sharing content designed to empower you with clarity, creativity, and genuine human connection, one mindful moment at a time. We look forward to growing together. The science of gratitude. Recent research in positive psychology has shown that gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, It literally rewires your brain for happiness and success. Here's what happens when you practice gratitude. Increased dopamine and serotonin production, reduced cortisol levels, improved neuroplasticity, enhanced emotional regulation. The gratitude maximizer system. To get the most benefit from gratitude, use this structured approach. Morning gratitude sprint. 3 things you're grateful for. 1 person you appreciate. 1 opportunity you're excited about. Midday gratitude. Pause.
Take 60 seconds.
Find gratitude in the present moment. Express appreciation to someone. Evening gratitude review. 3 good things that happened today. 1 challenge you're grateful for. 1 lesson you learned. The gratitude multiplier effect. When you consistently practice gratitude, you create what I call the gratitude multiplier effect. You notice more things to be grateful for. Your positive attitude attracts more positive experiences. Your relationships deepen through expressed appreciation. Your resilience grows through grateful perspective. Your success compounds through optimistic outlook. Bringing it all together, the daily growth system. Now that we've explored these 10 essential areas for daily improvement, let's talk about how to integrate them into your life systematically. The power of stacking. The secret is not to work on all 10 areas separately, it's to find ways to stack them together. For example, when you practice gratitude, 10, you improve your attitude. 1. When you learn something new, 6, you can teach it to others. 2. When you manage your time well, 5, you strengthen your discipline. 3. The 1% daily growth formula. Remember this formula. 1% better in each area every day compounds to massive improvement over time. Here's how to make it happen. Morning power hour. Review your purpose. Set your attitude. Plan your time. Daytime integration. Practice communication. Apply knowledge. Exercise discipline. Evening review. Track finances. Reflect on growth. Express gratitude. Your next steps. As we conclude this journey, remember, success is not about making massive changes all at once. It's about small, consistent improvements in these 10 areas, day after day. Start today. Pick one area that resonates most with you. Make one small improvement. Then tomorrow, pick another. Keep building, keep growing, keep improving. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You've just taken yours by reading this guide. Now it's time to take action. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, to become better than you were yesterday. The choice is yours. What will you improve today? Thank you for joining us in this journey toward a more intentional, balanced life. We hope you found both practical tips and renewed inspiration. If you're excited to continue exploring well-being, mindful living, and personal growth, make sure to subscribe to Listen, Grow, Sleep. We'll keep sharing content designed to empower you with clarity, creativity, and genuine human connection, one mindful moment at a time. We look forward to growing together.